Hello, my dear listener. Welcome to Sleeping Therapy by Emma. I'm so glad you've chosen to rest with me tonight. However your day has been, whatever weight you carry, you can set it down here. There's nothing you need to do now but breathe and listen and allow yourself to drift. Tonight, we're going to embark on a journey together. But it is not a journey to a place of frantic action or worry. It is a journey to a place of deep perspective. A journey to a time long, long ago. We often romanticize the past, don't we? We imagine knights in shining armor, grand castles, and simple, rustic lives. But what if we truly tried to step into that world? What if we tried to live just one single day, not as a noble in a storybook, but as an ordinary person in the Middle Ages? The title of our story tonight is Why You Wouldn't Last a Day in Medieval Times. It sounds perhaps a little daunting, I know, but stay with me. This is not a story to cause fear or anxiety. Quite the opposite. It is a story designed to hold up a soft moonlit mirror to our modern lives, to show us the quiet comforts we take for granted, the simple miracle of a warm, safe bed, the profound peace of a silent night, the incredible luxury of a hot bath and clean water. As we explore the realities of that time, the sounds, the sensations, the struggles, we won't be focusing on the hardship. Instead, we will use it as a gentle reminder of the safety that surrounds you right now, the comfort of your mattress, the roof over your head, the profound peace of this moment. So let this knowledge of the past not unsettle you, but settle you. Let it anchor you deeply in the present, in your own profound safety and comfort. Allow the contrast to make your bed feel softer, your room feel safer, and your mind feel quieter. So take a deep, cleansing breath in and a long, slow sigh out. Let your body feel heavy and supported, and allow your mind to begin to drift back through the centuries, to a very different world. So we drift back, my dear listener, back through the veils of time. The silvery path of moonlight fades and a new sensation begins to emerge, not of sight, but of feeling. A deep, pervasive chill that seeps into your very bones. You are no longer drifting, you are lying down. But this is not your soft, yielding mattress. This is something hard and rough and unforgiving. You're on a bed of scratchy straw, packed into a coarse, homespun sack that serves as a mattress. It wrestles with every tiny movement you make, a dry, whispering sound in the profound darkness. There's no memory foam to cradle your shape. No pillow that feels just right. Just a lumpy, meager bolster filled with more straw and a rough woven blanket that is scant protection against the cold. For it is so very cold. A damp, deep cold that the thin walls of this wattle and daub cottage cannot hope to keep out. You can feel it on your face, a sharpness in the air. You pull the blanket tighter, but it is a futile gesture. This is a cold that lives in the room, that has settled into the earth floor, that is a constant companion from autumn through to the late spring. There's no central heating here, no gentle hum of a radiator promising warmth at the flick of a switch. The cold is simply a fact of life, as present and unchangeable as the sky, and the smells, They are the first true assault on your modern senses. It is a complex layered tapestry of odors, so foreign and strong. The musky scent of the straw you lie on, the pungent, earthy smell of the dried herbs hanging from the low ceiling beams, meant to ward off illness and pests, but creating a perfume of thyme, mint, and dust. Underneath it all is the sharp, tangy smell of wood smoke, clinging to everything and something else. Something animal and organic. The scent of the family's prized pig, housed in a pen at the far end of this single-room dwelling, and the faint, metallic hint of the hard-packed earth floor, damp with condensation. You keep your eyes closed, trying to hold on to the memory of your warm, clean bed. But a sound shatters the silence. It is not the gentle beep of an alarm clock, or the soft chirping of birds you might hear through your double-glazed window. It is the cacophonous, desperate, and utterly relentless crowing of a rooster. It isn't a single cheerful crow like in children's stories. It is a screeching, grating announcement of the dawn, repeated over and over and over, piercing through the thin walls of the cottage. It is immediately joined by another, and then another from a nearby croft. This is your alarm clock. There is no snooze button. There's only its ragged, insistent call. And as your ears adjust, the soundscape of the medieval morning opens up around you. You hear the grunting and shuffling of the pig in the corner, the scuttling of tiny feet in the thatched roof above you, mice, or perhaps rats, going about their nightly business. From outside, the bleating of sheep, the lowing of a cow needing to be milked, the distant bark of a dog. This is the symphony of dawn. There is no silence. There is no peace. Only the urgent, hungry sounds of a world that depends entirely on the labor about to begin. A voice cuts through the gloom, raspy and tired. It is the man of the house, stirring on his own pile of straw nearby. He mutters a prayer in a language that is almost, but not quite, familiar to you, older, rougher dialect of English. His words are a grumble against the cold, against the work, against the stiffness in his back from sleeping on the hard ground. You hear the striking of flint on steel, a sharp, clicking, scraping sound that goes on for an agonizingly long time before it finally produces a single weak spark that catches on a piece of charcloth. A tiny precious flame is nurtured, and a rushlight is dipped into it, a reed soaked in animal fat. It sputters to life, casting a feeble, dancing light that creates more shadows than it dispels. It smells of burning fat and smoke. This is the light by which the family will begin its day. It does not illuminate. It merely pushes the deepest darkness back a few feet. This is your first waking moment, not with a stretch and a yawn, but with a shiver, a jolt, and an overwhelm of harsh sensations. There's no groggy reaching for a phone. There's only the immediate, undeniable reality of discomfort, cold, and hunger. For the hollow feeling in your stomach is already there, a dull ache that you know is a constant part of life here. The supper of coarse bread, thin pottage, and perhaps a sip of weak ale is a distant memory, and the prospect of breakfast is uncertain. But as you lie there, absorbing this reality, I want you to feel the contrast. to feel the profound, incredible luxury of your own reality, the mattress that molds to your body, the duvet that holds in your warmth, the silence or the gentle chosen sounds you can play in your room, the absolute certainty of a breakfast waiting for you. Let the hardship of this past world act like a soft blanket of gratitude around your present one. You are safe, you are warm, you are comfortable, and you can drift back to this safety anytime you wish. The raspy voice speaks again, this time more clearly. Up, the light comes. It is a command, not a suggestion. There's no concept of a lazy Sunday morning here. The day breaks, and with it, the relentless cycle of labor must begin, for survival itself depends on it. You push the rough blanket aside, and the cold air hits you like a physical blow. You are still wearing the simple, long tunic you slept in scratchy wool against your skin. There are no separate pajamas here, no soft cotton, no comfortable elastic waistbands. Your clothes are functional, and you likely own only one or two sets. The concept of privacy is almost non-existent. The entire family, parents, children, grandparents, all share this one room, sleeping, living, and working in this same smoky, earthy space. Your feet touch the ground, but it is not the cool, smooth surface of a wooden floor or a soft rug. It is the cold, slightly damp, packed earth. You feel the grit and small stones beneath your bare feet. There are no slippers waiting for you. You shuffle towards the small, meager fire that is now being nurtured in the central hearth, a simple pit in the floor with a smoke hole in the roof above. You hold your hands out to the weak flames, but the heat is negligible, mostly just smoke that stings your eyes and makes you cough. The morning routine is stark in its simplicity. There is no bathroom to walk to, no ensuite, no tap to turn for water. A large earthenware pot sits by the door, filled with water collected from the village well yesterday. You dip your hands in. The water is shockingly cold, drawn from deep underground. You splash it on your face, the shock of it banishing the last remnants of sleep. There is no soap, no warm water, no fluffy towel. You dry your face on the coarse fabric of your tunic sleeve. And then the hunger. That dull ache is now a sharp, annoying presence. You look towards the pot hanging over the fire. The woman of the house is stirring last night's pottage, thinning it out with more water and adding a few more chopped turnips and a handful of grain. Pottage is a constant, a thick, thin, ever-evolving stew of grains, vegetables, and very, very rarely a tiny bit of meat or bacon fat for flavor. It is what you will eat for breakfast, for dinner, and for supper, day after day. The bread, when there's any, is dark, coarse, and made from rye or barley. It is so hard it must be dipped in the pottage to be edible, and you can feel the grit of millstone chips in every mouthful, slowly wearing down your teeth. You take your wooden bowl, a deeply personal possession, carved and worn smooth by your own hands, and hold it out. A ladle of the thin, steaming gruel is poured in. It smells of turnips and smoke. You sit on a low stool and eat it with a wooden spoon. It is bland, deeply, profoundly bland. Salt is an expensive luxury used sparingly. There are no spices from distant lands here. No sugar for your morning coffee. There's no coffee. There's only a weak small beer, a low alcohol brew that is safer to drink than the often contaminated water. This is your breakfast. It does little to satisfy the hunger, only taking the sharpest edge off it. As you eat, you look around the dim, smoky room. This is your entire world. The walls are bare earth and timber. The light is fleeting, dependent on the open door or the smoke hole. Everything is functional, crude, and handmade. There are no pictures on the walls. No books on a shelf. No music playing. Your entertainment is the gossip of the village, the stories told by the fire, the simple rituals of the church calendar. Your world is perhaps 2 miles in any direction, the distance you can easily walk to and from the fields and return before dark. The man finishes his pottage and stands up. His face is weathered, edged with lines from sun and wind and worry. He looks old, though he may only be in his 40s. Life here is hard, and it ages you quickly. He looks at you. There's no "have a good day at work." There's only a nod towards the door. The day's labor is waiting. It is the same labor as yesterday, and the same as tomorrow. Tending the strips of land in the open fields, weeding, planting, harvesting, with crude, heavy iron tools that blister the hands and ache the back. Or perhaps tending the animals, mending fences, cutting firewood, the endless back-breaking tasks that simply never end. But for now, just for this moment, as you stand at the door of the cottage, looking out at a world waking to a life of relentless toil, I want you to feel the weight of your own freedom. The freedom from such grinding, physical exhaustion. The freedom of choice. The luxury of a varied diet. The miracle of hot, running water and a simple bar of soap. Feel the gratitude for your modern body, unbroken by such labor. For your modern mind, educated and entertained. Let the image of that smoky, cool cottage make your own home feel like a palace. Let the memory of that bland pottage make you appreciate your next meal, however simple it may be. And let the relentless call of that labor make you appreciate the rest you are giving yourself right now. You have earned this rest. You deserve this peace. So breathe in and breathe out. And know that you are here in your sanctuary, and that world is but a story. A story to lull you into a deeper appreciation of your own profound comfort and safety. And so, my dear listener, you step out from the dim, smoky cottage and into the vast, open world of the medieval morning. The cold air, once a shock inside, now feels even more biting, carrying a dampness from the nearby fields that seeps through your rough tunic. You look up. The sky is not a gentle, promising blue, but a vast, pale expanse of washed-out gray and white. The sun a faint, cold coin behind the haze. It offers little warmth, only light. And by this light, you see your world. The village is a small cluster of similar wattle and daub cottages, their thatched roofs dark with dew and age. They huddled together along a single muddy track that serves as the main street. This is not a road, but a ribbon of churned earth, deeply rutted by cartwheels and pocked with the footprints of animals and people. After last night's rain, it is a morass of thick, clinging mud. You must pick your way carefully, your bare feet sinking into the cold, wet ooze. There is no pavement, no concrete, no clean, dry asphalt, just the earth in all its wet and messy reality. The sounds of the village are now all around you. The constant lowing of cattle being driven to the common grazing land. The sharp shouts of the swineherd guiding his unruly flock of pigs towards the oak woods to forage for acorns. The rhythmic clang of the blacksmith's hammer already at work, a sound that will echo through the day. The squeak of the wooden water wheel at the mill on the stream. And woven through it all, the constant chatter of voices, neighbors calling to one another, women discussing the day's tasks, children already being set to work, gathering firewood or watching the geese. Everyone is moving. There's no stillness. Life here is a verb and action. It is doing. From the moment the sun peaks over the horizon until it dips below it, the body is in motion. Survival is not a given. It is earned with every aching muscle, every blistered hand, every weary step. You follow the man to the edge of the village, to the vast open fields. The land is not divided into neat private farms. It is a sprawling patchwork of long, thin strips, each belonging to a different family in the village. This is the common field, and you must work your strips alongside your neighbors. The tool is placed in your hands. It is a hoe or perhaps a sickle, its handle smooth by years of use, but its iron head is heavy and crude. The work is simple, repetitive, and brutal. You must bend from the waist, your back protesting immediately, and swing the tool, breaking up the cold soil, weeding between the rows of hardy grain, your movements slow and clumsy compared to the practiced, efficient motions of the peasants around you. Within minutes, your modern muscles, unused to such relentless physical toil, are screaming. Your lower back is a knot of pain. Your shoulders ache. The soft skin of your palms, unaccustomed to the rough wood of the tool handle, begins to redden and blister. There is no break. There is no ergonomic design to this tool. It is a simple lever to multiply your effort, but the effort is still entirely your own. The cold morning soon gives way to the day's labor, and a new sensation begins to bloom: heat. A clammy, uncomfortable heat generated from within your own body as you struggle with the work. The coarse wool of your tunic, once a poor shield against the cold, now feels like a hot, itchy prison against your skin. It chafes at your neck, under your arms. There is no breathable cotton, no moisture-wicking fabric. Just the stubborn, prickly embrace of wool, soaked with your sweat, and the smells intensify. The clean scent of the early morning is gone, replaced by the thick odor of damp earth turned over, the pungent scent of your own sweat, and the pervasive, ever-present wood smoke from the village hearths, which now seems to cling to your hair and your skin. You look up from your work, your vision slightly blurred with sweat and exhaustion. The sun is higher now, but it has not brought cheer. It only highlights the sheer scale of the task ahead. Your strip of land seems to stretch on forever. The work is mind-numbingly monotonous. There is no podcast to listen to, no music to make the time pass. There's only the rhythmic thud of the hoe, the sound of your own labored breathing, and the distant echoing sounds of the village. A fly buzzes persistently around your face, then another. You swat at them, but they are undeterred. There is no insect repellent, no screen windows to keep them out. They are simply a part of life, an irritation you must endure. This is the reality of the medieval workday. It is not a few hours of focused effort. It is a sun-up to sundown marathon of physical endurance. There is no concept of a weekend. There are only holy days, dictated by the church, which offer a rare respite from the grind. Your body is not your own. It is a tool, like the hoe in your hand, to be used until it wears down. But as you feel this ache in your back, this blister on your hand, I want you to feel the profound absence of that ache in your own body right now. Feel the incredible luxury of your relaxed muscles, your soft, unblistered hands resting on your sheets. Feel the miracle of your body, free from such demanding, grinding labor. Let the memory of that heavy tool make your limbs feel light as air. Let the image of that endless field make you appreciate the freedom of your own day. You are not there. You are here, in your bed, safe, and rest is not a distant dream, but your present reality. The sun climbs to its zenith, a pale, watery eye in the gray sky. The call for the noon meal is not a bell, but a simple shout from the village. The work does not stop. It merely pauses. There is no lunch hour. You trudge back from the fields, your body stiff and sore, your feet once again caked in cold mud. You gather with your family and neighbors in the lee of a cottage, seeking a sliver of shade. The meal is the same as breakfast, a bowl of thin pottage, perhaps slightly thicker now, and a hunk of that dark, gritty bread. You eat in silence, too tired for conversation. The food is fuel, nothing more. It does not delight the senses. It merely quietens the constant, gnawing hunger for a few short hours. As you eat, you watch the world go by. You see a young child, no more than 5 or 6, already at work, minding a clutch of chickens, ensuring the foxes don't get them. You see an old woman, her back bent double from a lifetime of exactly this labor, her hands gnarled like the roots of an ancient tree, slowly carding wool with 2 spiky teasels. There is no retirement. You work until you can work no more, and then you depend on the charity of your family and your community. This sense of community is your safety net, but it is a thin and fragile one. A bad harvest, a sickness in your livestock, an injury that prevents you from working, any of these things can tip your entire family into famine and destitution. The fear of this is a low, constant hum in the back of every mind, as ever present as the smell of smoke. It is a world of perpetual uncertainty. And then a sound cuts through the afternoon lull. It is not the cheerful sound of a market bell. It is a sharp, frantic ringing from the small wooden church at the center of the village. It is the sound of alarm. Everyone freezes. Faces that were merely tired are now etched with instant, raw fear. The village reeve shouts a single word that chills your blood. Strangers. On the track leading into the village, a group of men approaches. They are not from nearby. Their clothes are travel-stained, and they move with a weary purpose. They are armed with stout clubs, and a few have long knives at their belts. They are not an army. They are something perhaps more frightening in their mundane danger masterless men. Discharged soldiers, or simply desperate souls turned to banditry. Your heart hammers in your chest, a frantic drum against your ribs. There's no police force to call, no 999 to dial. Your protection is the men of your own village, hastily grabbing their own crude tools, scythes, axes, hayforks, and forming a nervous, ragged line. They are farmers, not fighters. The tension is a physical thing, thick and metallic in the air. The strangers stop a short distance away. Words are exchanged too low for you to hear. They are demanding food, ale, anything of value. The threat is unspoken but palpable. Violence hangs in the balance, a sword on a single hair. After what feels like an eternity, the village reeve, his voice steady though his hand trembles, offers a compromise. A sack of grain, a side of bacon from the winter stores. It is a significant loss, a bite out of your already meager security, but it is a price paid for safety. The strangers take it and move on, disappearing down the track as silently as they came. The relief is palpable, but it is not a happy feeling. It is a deep, weary shame and a renewed sense of vulnerability. The village has been violated, and there was nothing anyone could do to prevent it. The world outside your little cluster of cottages is not a place of adventure. It is a place of peril. The boundaries of your life are defined not by ambition, but by fear. As the afternoon wears on and you return to the fields, the incident hangs over you all. The work is even heavier now, weighed down by this reminder of your place in the world. You are small, you are vulnerable. Your safety is provisional. But as you feel the echo of ancient fear, I want you to feel the profound, incredible safety that surrounds you now. The solid walls of your home, the lock on your door, the knowledge that help is just a phone call away. We live in a world of miraculous, woven safety nets of laws, of emergency services, of social structures that protect us from these raw existential fears. Let the memory of that village's vulnerability make you feel not scared, but deeply, profoundly secure. You are protected. You are safe. The shadows outside your window are just shadows. The world beyond your door is, for tonight, a gentle place. So let that feeling of safety sink into you. Let it warm you from the inside. A deep, quiet knowledge that you are protected, that you can let your guard down completely and surrender to the deep, peaceful rest that awaits you. The pale sun, which offered so little warmth, finally begins its slow descent in the sky, casting long, deep shadows across the field. Your body, my dear listener, is a single aching entity. There is no part of you that does not protest. Your back is a rigid column of pain. Your shoulders burn with a deep, muscular fire. The blisters on your palms have burst and now sting with every movement. You are caked in a fine layer of dirt and sweat, the grime ground into the lines of your skin, under your nails, itching against your scalp. But the fading light is not a signal to rest. It is a deadline. The last of the light must be used to finish the row, to put the tools away, to herd the animals back into their pens. Work continues until you can literally no longer see what you are doing. Finally, a voice calls out, light fails. It is a statement of fact, not of relief. You straighten up, a slow and agonizing process, every vertebra cracking in protest. You gather your crude tools and join the silent, weary procession back to the village. The mud on the track is colder now, the air losing what little warmth it held. The cheerful sounds of the morning are gone, replaced by the lowing of tired cattle, the bleating of sheep, and the quiet, exhausted murmurs of the people. No one speaks much. The energy for conversation was spent in the fields. You reach the cottage. The pig grunts in its corner. The smell of the dwelling, smoke, damp earth, animals, and humanity hits you afresh. Stronger now that you are returning from the slightly cleaner air outside. It is the smell of home, but it is not a comforting scent. It is simply the familiar aroma of survival. There is no welcoming, well-lit hallway. The interior of the cottage is a pool of deep, gathering gloom. The single rushlight is lit again, its tiny, guttering flame fighting a losing battle against the encroaching darkness. It creates a small island of flickering orange light, leaving the corners of the room to the shadows. The world has shrunk to this tiny circle of dim illumination. The evening meal is the same as the others, a bowl of pottage, now reheated and perhaps a little thicker from the day's cooking, and the last of the hard bread. You eat in silence, sitting on a low stool by the fire, your bowl in your lap. The warmth from the hearth is minimal, but it is a focus, a small point of heat in the cooling world. The food fills the hollow in your stomach, but does nothing to ease the ache in your bones. There is no dessert, no sweet treat to look forward to. The meal is functional, and when it is done, it is done. Now, there is the question of cleanliness. The idea of a shower, a bath, is a fantasy from another world. Water is too precious to be used for washing. You might once again splash your face and hands with the icy water from the pot by the door, rubbing the worst of the grime away with your hands and drying them on your tunic. But the dirt ground into your skin, the sweat on your back, the itch on your scalp, these remain. You will go to sleep as dirty as you worked, the day's labor literally baked onto your skin. The feeling is deeply uncomfortable, a constant, low-level irritation that you have no means to solve. And so the evening stretches out before you. What do? There is no television to watch, no internet to browse, no book to read, even if you could read, which is unlikely. Books are unimaginably precious objects owned only by the richest nobles and the church. The light is too poor for intricate craftwork. So you sit. You might talk in low voices with your family. The stories told are old, familiar ones-tales of clever foxes, of local ghosts, of saints and their miracles. Or you might simply sit in silence, staring into the embers of the fire, too tired to even think. The excitement of the day, the fear of the strangers is discussed in hushed, worried tones. What if they return? What if others come? The fear does not leave. It just becomes quieter, a shadow that matches those growing in the corners of the room. Outside, the world is being reclaimed by the night. The sounds change. The human noises fade away. The animals in the village settle. And then a new symphony begins. The hoot of an owl, surprisingly close. The scuttling and scratching of creatures in the thatch above, now more bold in the darkness. The distant, haunting cry of a fox. Every sound is magnified by the silence in the darkness. Every creak of the timber frame, every rustle of the straw on the mattress is a question in the night. You are so tired. Your body is a heavy, aching weight. Your eyes are gritty and sore. Sleep is a physical need, a desperate escape from the exhaustion, but it is not a luxury to be enjoyed. It is a necessity to be endured, a brief respite before the rooster calls and the whole cycle begins again. And as you feel this echo of profound, bone-deep weariness, I want you to feel the glorious absence of that ache in your own body. Feel the clean softness of your skin against your fresh sheets. Feel the immense luxury of a body that is tired from a day of living, not from a day of surviving. You have the privilege of resting your body, not because you must to repeat the labor tomorrow, but because you deserve to rest. So let your own body feel light, let it feel clean, let it feel pampered and cared for, and let that feeling carry you deeper into your own soft, welcoming bed. The last of the fire is baked, a few precious embers buried in the ash to hopefully coax a flame tomorrow morning. The rushlight is extinguished. Its final sputter and the trail of smoky smell that follows is the last thing you perceive before the darkness. And the darkness, it is absolute. This is not the gentle dark of a modern bedroom where a light from a digital clock, a street lamp, or the moon through curtains provides a soft, familiar glow. This is a deep, impenetrable, suffocating blackness. It is a physical presence. You cannot see your hand in front of your face. You cannot see the outline of the door. You cannot see the person sleeping on the straw next to you. The world has vanished, leaving only sound and feeling. And the sounds are terrifying. Without sight, your hearing becomes painfully acute. The scuttling in the thatch is no longer a faint noise. It is a procession of unseen things moving just above your head. The wind, picking up outside, doesn't whisper. It moans through the cracks in the wall, a lonely, sorrowful sound. The cry of the fox is no longer distant. It sounds like it is right outside the door. Every snap of a cooling timber in the cottage wall is a footstep. Every rustle of the straw beneath you is another presence in the room. This is where superstition is born, not from ignorance, but from this profound vulnerability. In the absolute dark, the mind conjures what the eyes cannot see. The stories of spirits, of demons, of goblins and fairies that steal into homes, these are not mere fantasies. They are explanations for the unexplained noises. They are the shape given to the formless fear that comes with the night. You pull the rough blanket over your head, not for warmth, but as a feeble shield against the unseen world. You try to control your breathing, to be silent, to not attract the attention of whatever might be out there. The cold returns with a vengeance. The meager heat from the banked fire is gone. The damp cold from the earth floor rises up, seeping through the thin layer of straw and into your bones. You shiver uncontrollably. You curl into a tight ball, trying to conserve what little body heat you have, but the cold is an invader you cannot keep out. Your nose is cold. Your feet are like blocks of ice. Sleep is a fitful thing, broken by chattering teeth, by a sudden noise that jolts you awake, heart pounding, by the deep, aching need to change position on the unforgiving straw bed. This is the longest part of the day. The night hours stretch on, an eternity of discomfort, fear, and cold. Time has no meaning. There is no clock to tell you how much longer until dawn. You simply lie there, trapped in the dark, waiting for the first faint gray light to seep through the smoke hole and promise the end of this ordeal. You might drift into a shallow, uneasy sleep, but it is not restful. It is filled with dreams of the field, of the heavy tool in your hand, of the grim faces of the strangers. You wake up feeling more tired than when you lay down, and then, just when you feel you cannot bear another moment of the cold and the dark, you hear it. Not the full-throated crow of the rooster yet, but the first. Tentative shuffling and clucking of the chickens in their coop. It is the first sign that the world is turning. A faint, barely perceptible grayness begins to outline the smoke hole. Dawn is coming. Not with a beautiful sunrise, but with a slow, grudging lightening of the oppressive black into a deep, miserable gray. The night is over. You have survived it. But there is no joy in the new day. Only the weary certainty that the cycle, the cold, the hunger, the backbreaking labor, and the terrifying darkness will begin all over again. But you, my dear listener, are not there in that endless cycle of exhaustion. You are here, now, in your world. So as I describe that profound, absolute darkness, feel the gentle glow of your nightlight or the soft moonlight through your window. As I describe that bone-chilling cold, feel the perfect, cozy warmth of your duvet. As I describe the fear of the unseen, feel the utter safety and security of your locked door, your solid walls, your modern world that has banished the terrors of the night. Let the memory of that medieval night be the darkest shadow, which only makes the light of your present comfort shine brighter. Let it remind you that your rest is deep, it is safe, and it is truly, truly restorative. You are protected, you are warm, you are clean, and you are drifting so peacefully into a sleep that is a gift, not a desperate respite. And so, my dear listener, the cycle completes itself. The gray light through the smoke hole grows steadily stronger, pushing back the terrifying, absolute blackness of the night. The world slowly, grudgingly, returns to view. You uncurl from the tight ball you've been clenched in all night, your muscles stiff and protesting, your body still aching from yesterday's labor and shivering from the night's cold. The rooster begins his rasping, relentless call, and the familiar sounds of the cottage stir around you, the rustle of straw as others wake, the low morning mutterings, the stirring of the banked embers in the hearth. That something is different this morning. As you lie there on the rough straw, feeling the familiar discomfort, a strange sensation begins to bloom in your chest. It is not a feeling from this time or place. It is a memory, a distant, powerful echo of something else. It is the memory of a softness beneath you, a memory of a profound, enveloping warmth, a memory of a silence that was peaceful, not fearful, a memory of a light you could control with the flick of a switch. It feels like a dream, but it is more real, more vivid than the cold reality of this straw bed. The memory grows stronger, more insistent. It pushes up the edges of this medieval dawn. The rough wool of your tunic begins to feel less scratchy, as if it's fading away, replaced by the ghost of a sensation of soft, clean cotton. The cold air on your face feels less biting, as if a gentle, perfect warmth is just beyond your perception, waiting to embrace you. The sounds of the cottage, the grunting pig, the crackling of the small fire begin to seem distant, as if you're hearing them from underwater. They are being overlaid by another softer sound, a sound of nothing, a beautiful, peaceful, deep silence, or perhaps the faint, gentle hum of a peaceful night in a modern home. You blink, and for a moment the low, smoky ceiling of the cottage seems to shimmer. Beyond it, you can almost see a different ceiling, smooth, white, and familiar. The smell of smoke and earth is still there, but weaving through it is a faint, clean scent, the scent of laundry detergent from freshly washed sheets. The subtle perfume of a candle that burned hours ago. The clean, neutral smell of your own safe, personal space. The man's voice says, "Up," the light comes, but the words are muffled, as if spoken from a great distance. The command feels less urgent. The grip of this hard life is loosening. You are not detaching from it out of weakness, but because you are being called back, by the immense, powerful comfort of your true reality. You feel a gentle pulling sensation, not at your body, but at your very spirit. You are drifting again, but this time you are not drifting down the silvery path into the past. You are drifting up, out of the straw bed, out of the cold, out of the fear and the endless grind. You are floating free of the weight of history. The image of the cottage wavers, like a reflection in a pond into which a stone has been dropped. It ripples and softens and begins to fade. The chill on your skin is replaced by a wave of deep, comforting warmth. The hard pressure beneath you dissolves into a sensation of soft, yielding support. The coarse blanket over you transforms into a feeling of lightness, a gentle weight that holds the perfect temperature next to your skin. The sounds of the medieval morning, the roosters, the animals, the voices, are melting away, fading into a distant, indistinct murmur, like the far-off sound of the sea in a show. They are being replaced by the sound of your own breathing, slow and even. The sound of your own heartbeat, steady and calm. The profound, beautiful silence of your own room. You are leaving that world behind. You are returning. You are coming home to your own century, to your own life, to your own incredible, miraculous comfort. The last of the medieval world dissolves completely. The smell of smoke is gone, replaced by the clean, familiar air of your bedroom. The feeling of straw is gone, replaced by the sublime softness of your mattress. The fear is gone, replaced by a deep, unshakable knowledge of your own safety. You are here. You have always been here. Your body has been safe and comfortable this entire time. Your journey was a gift of the mind, a journey of perspective. And as you return fully to your own bed, to your own now, let the feelings of that other life settle into you, not as a memory of hardship, but as a foundation of immense gratitude. Feel how every cell in your body thanks you for this comfort. Feel how your mind thanks you for this peace. You have journeyed into the past, and it has given you the most precious gift, a deep, soul-level appreciation for the present. So let that gratitude be the blanket that tucks you in. Let it be the warmth that surrounds you. Let it be the quiet lullaby that sings you to sleep. You are back, fully back. The journey is complete. The past is a story once more, a dream already beginning to soften at the edges. And now, in this sacred space of your own making, let us take a final, gentle inventory of the miracles that surround you. Feel the sublime softness of your pillow, cradling your head like a cloud. Notice how it accepts the weight of your thoughts and your weariness, and offers only support in return. There is no lumpy straw here, only comfort designed with care just for you. Feel the gentle embrace of your sheets. So clean, so soft, so smooth against your skin. There's no coarse wool, no rough homespun. Just the gentle whisper of cotton or linen, washed and cared for. A simple luxury that would have been beyond the imagination of even the richest king in the time we just visited. Feel the perfect weight and warmth of your duvet or blanket. It holds you in a cocoon of exactly the right temperature, shielding you from any chill, making your bed a perfect, self-contained universe of comfort. There is no shivering here, no desperate curling into a ball for warmth, only a deep, steady, radiant warmth that comes from you and is held lovingly around you. Listen to the silence of your room. It is not a silence of fear, but a silence of peace. It is a silence you own. A silence you can break if you choose, with music or a guided meditation, but a silence you can also sink into like a warm bath. There are no terrifying, unseen noises in this darkness. Only the quiet hum of your refrigerator or the distant whisper of a car, sounds that speak not of danger, but of a connected, modern world at rest. Breathe in the air of your room. It is clean. It is fresh. It smells of you, of cleanliness, of peace. There is no smoke, no damp earth, no smell of animals. Every breath is easy. Every breath is a pleasure. You are safe. Your door is locked. Your home is solid. The world outside is not a place of peril, but a place you will engage with tomorrow on your own terms. The fears of the past have been replaced by the security of the present. You can let your guard down completely. You can surrender. You can truly, deeply rest. Your body is not a tool for grinding labor. It is a vessel for your spirit, and tonight it is being honored with rest. It is clean, it is pampered, it is appreciated. Every muscle that you imagine aching in the field is now relaxed, heavy, and at peace. Your hands, which you pictured blistered and sore, are soft and resting gently on the sheets. Your mind, which was filled with the worries of survival, is now clear. The only thoughts drifting through are soft, gentle thoughts of gratitude and peace. You have done enough. You have thought enough. Now it is time to simply be. So let this feeling of gratitude be the final thought you hold on to. Gratitude for your warm bed. Gratitude for your safe home. Gratitude for the food in your kitchen. Gratitude for the people you love. Gratitude for the simple, astounding miracle of living in this time of incredible comfort and ease. You have journeyed to a hard place, and you have returned to a soft one. Let that contrast be the rock upon which you build your rest tonight. You are so blessed, you are so safe. You are so deeply, profoundly loved by the universe that provided you with all of this. Now it is time to let go of the story. It has done its work. It has given you perspective. It has given you gratitude. Now let it fade, leaving only its gift behind. Listen to the sound of my voice and let it become softer and slower and more distant, like a boat drifting away on a calm, moonlit lake. You're so ready for sleep. Your eyelids are heavy. Your breathing is deep and slow. Your body is melting into the bed. Your mind is drifting on a peaceful sea. You have done everything you need to do today. Your only task now is to dream beautiful dreams. Thank you for journeying with me tonight. Thank you for allowing me to be your guide. This is Sleeping Therapy with Emma. Good night, my dear listener. May your sleep be deep and your dreams be gentle. Good night.